Ladies and gentlemen, gamers of all ages, welcome to Tric Trac TV. My name is Jamie. Now, if you have ever stepped foot inside a board game shop before, you'll know of Ticket to Ride. It's possibly one of the oldest, most prestigious games in the industry. I'm today joined by Antoine from Days of Wonder because we are going to talk about a new version of it, new version, an expansion. There have been many before. Many, there's quite a few, I think, by now. I'm not quite sure how many there are exactly. But each one offers you one or two new ways to play what is already a very, very good game. And this is the latest one, Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sales. So, tell us what it's all about. The board is a lot bigger, as you've no doubt noticed.
Yeah.
It's got boats, not just railways this time. So, tell us how it all works.
So, first of all, it's not an expansion; it's a standalone game. So okay. you do not need the base game to play this game. It's all what you need to play is inside. So I'm going to assume that you already know how to play Ticket to Ride.
I think,
and
like
just
I said,
explain the differences.
Most people that have been inside of a board game shop will know the basis or have played Ticket to Ride.
So let's just focus on the differences, and that's it. So first thing is the board is different. Usually we have 8 colors in Ticket to Ride, and here we have only 6 colors. As you can see, there is no blue or orange routes, so they're out. So this is the first thing, and the second thing, the big news is that you play with ships and trains. So not just trains, you have ships. That you can place on the board on these routes here. Represented
by some delightful little plastic models which have come out really nicely. Very, very cute. So they come in the box in multiple colours, of course. Up.
So the purpose of the game remains the same. You need to complete your objectives to get points and score most points at the end of the game. But the ways to score points differ because now you can I'm going to present the different routes on the board. You have here the classic train routes that have a rectangular shape. So you play your train cards on it and you can claim them as usual. And you have the new ship routes here with a different form here that you can take with your ships, obviously. So, which explains why there are different cards.
There's 2 decks of cards. There are 1 for ships. One for trains.
Yeah.
So I have an example of the train cards here. Yeah. So there's nothing much different from what we know to be Ticket to Ride, except for the Joker is for both ships and trains.
Exactly.
There is no Joker in the boat deck.
There is
you have to get it from the train deck.
Yeah.
And then we have the boats, which are much like the trains. They have a color. But there is a double boat. So what does a double boat do?
So the double boats allow you to claim routes faster because for 1 card that you play, you can place 2 boats on the routes.
Simple as.
Exactly.
Okay.
So in the usual Ticket to Ride, you have normally a single deck with 5 cards. And here you have 2 decks with 3 cards each at game start. But when you take a card, for example, if I choose to pick this card, you can replace it with either a ship or a train card.
I see. So still, at the beginning there's 3 of each, but halfway through the game there could be 6 trains or 6 ships, and it varies on what people take. Okay.
And it can be a way to block your opponents if you know that they are going for trains, then you will
block with ships.
Take them and replace them with ships.
Intriguing. Excellent. Okay.
So, and the game journey is the same. Either you take 2 cards or you play your cards to claim a route.
Gotcha.
You can also use your turn to build a harbor on the harbor symbols here.
Which is one of the little plastic tokens that we showed earlier. Little harbor. There you go. Very cute once again. Love the little models. Which you can build on these harbor spots, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You obviously can't build a harbor in Moskva, for instance, would be difficult. So you need to build them only of the blue spots here.
Right.
I'll explain what use are the harbors later.
Okay.
Because first I want to talk about the tickets.
Yes, because there's been a slight change.
Yeah.
Tickets are the things that allow, for a quick reminder, are what allow you to gain points by connecting certain destinations. But there's a new one in this one.
You have the classic tickets as usual. So if, for example, you complete that one, Los Angeles to Dar es Salaam, you score your 17 points. And if you don't, you lose 17 points.
That's the one. And you can do that by, as long as your line links up the 2 of them, you score it.
And an important thing on that board particularly is that you can go, the eastern and western, they connect together, the game board wrap around itself.
Yeah, so if you come off here, you come back on here.
For example, here it connects to Lima to Honolulu here.
That's the one.
Or Anchorage on the other side connect here to Vancouver, for instance.
Right.
And the second type of tickets, it's what we call a tour ticket here. So instead of just linking two cities together, you need to connect up to 5 cities. This one is a 4-city ticket. And you need to connect them. At the end of the game, you must be able to trace the route as written on the ticket. For example, that one is Tehran, Lahore, Mumbai, and Bangkok. So you need to have a route that goes like this. It can go like this if you want to, as long as you respect the order that is written.
Gotcha.
If you do that, then you would score the 13 points, the first value. If you connect the cities together, but you don't respect the order, then you would still score 9 points for this one. But if you don't connect one single city, for instance, if you manage to connect those 3, but you cannot get Bangkok.
So you don't finish the track.
Yeah, then in that case, you would score minus 19 points. So
which is a lot of points, but that is actually quite a lot of points to gain for such a short distance to build on. So that's the sort of like counterbalance.
But you can be easily blocked by other people. So
of course, so you've got to be careful what you take.
And this one is not the one. There is one that is worth 34 points. And you would lose 40 points if you don't manage it. But it's a big one. It's like all the north of the map.
I see. Well, okay then. So moving on.
Now let's talk about the harbor that I mentioned. If at the end of the game, to build a harbor, it's you need several cards. You need 4 cards of the same color, actually. 2 of them being train cards.
Okay, so you need 2 train cards.
And 2 of them being ship cards.
Ship cards.
And all must have that little anchor symbol here.
I see. So not all the cards have that anchor symbol.
No, there are only 4 cards.
Let's see. Oh yeah, for example, the black doesn't have the anchor symbol. Okay.
There are only
the red doesn't either. There you go.
Yeah, because it's a double ship. Double ship don't have
okay, right.
Single ship have the anchor symbol, double ship don't.
Right, okay.
And there are only 4 cards in each color that have, in each color and type, that have that anchor symbol. So you have 4 white ship cards with the anchor symbol and 4 white train cards with the anchor symbol.
Easy as.
Of course, you can also use a joker to replace
which also has the
a
anchor
white
symbol.
card to replace one of these cards because it also has the symbol.
Okay.
And if you do, then you can place your harbor on the city of your choice as long as you have a route that goes into it.
Right, okay, so you can't just put a harbor down anywhere.
You need a route. This is different. There is different from that with a TricTrac Europe when you would place a station wherever you want.
Right.
But here you really need a route that goes in the...
A complete route or just the beginning of one?
For instance, that one here, just...
would you have to have all of the boats here, for example, or would just one boat there suffice?
You cannot have just one.
Okay, you need to have a complete route. Okay, simple as. So what does the harbour do once you get it?
At the end of the game, for each ticket you completed, you take a look at it, and if you have a harbour, for example, if I build a harbour in Cape Town here.
Right. Oh, sorry, I'll just move those away. There we go. So this is the Cape Town to Jakarta ticket.
Yeah, if I complete that ticket with a harbour in Cape Town, then I will score 20 points.
I see.
And an extra 20 points.
Okay, right.
And let's say I have another completed ticket with Cape Town and still the harbour here, it will be plus 30 points, and so on. You can have 3 or more cities.
See, a lot of bonus points to be gained there.
Yeah, so it's really important because if you didn't do that, not only you won't score your 20 points, but you would lose 4 points per unbuilt harbour at the end of the game.
Oh, so you have to
build
the
really
harbours.
need to use them.
Gotcha. All right then.
Then I guess we covered most of the differences.
Begging my ignorance, that is new, I believe. They're
that's
these
new,
sort of
that's right.
grey squares.
Yeah, these here, we call them pair routes.
Right.
So you can take them, but you will spend more cards as usual. For instance, to get these 2 space routes, you will need not 2 but 4 cards.
4 cards, okay.
And being pairs, for example, 2 yellow and 2 red, or 4 yellow if you want, but you need to spend them in pair. And it's more expensive to get them, but it's the same amount of points. So even if you spend 4 cards, you still score only 2 points for that.
But it's a bit of a shortcut if you need to get
exactly.
between
So
places.
for example, if you don't need to go all around, you can go directly here.
And it generally looks like it goes through the big deserts or the...
And they're all grey. There are no color on this route, so you can pick the color that you want when you spend your cards.
Okay. Very well then. Have we covered everything on this side of the board?
Yeah, just one little detail for the game end trigger,
Gotcha.
which changed. In your usual Ticket to Ride, you normally end the game when one player have only 2 pieces left, two train left, then you play one last turn and it's over. Here, the game end triggers at 6 pieces left.
Oh, right, okay.
But you have two complete turns until the end of the game.
Okay.
So you have more time to react if you need.
Okay then, sounds good. But that isn't the only side of the board.
No, it's a double-sided board, so you can take a look at the other.
This is the worldwide map. This is the grand... Oh, I'm having a bit of trouble here. There we go, thank you. Les Grands Lacs, as they call them in French, I believe it's the Great Lakes.
Exactly, the Great Lakes of America.
I'll shift it down so it's nice and on the camera. There we go, that'll make German happy. So there you go. So, what changes?
So the rules are pretty much the same, except you have no tour tickets.
Okay.
And you have no pair routes, as you can see. So it's the rest of the rules are the same. So it's
just
like
a simpler version of the other side. And slightly different, of course. Seems to have a lot more the shipping. Well,
you can still, and the harbors are less value there. Instead of 20, it's 10 for the first 20, one, then 20, then 30.
Gotcha. Okay then.
And you have different tickets, but they are all the same.
The same principle.
Yeah, there is no tour ticket as in the Ticket Ride world.
Sounds good then. Okay then. So nothing else to add for this side of the board?
No, I think.
Okay then. Well, there's already quite a lot to add between both of them.
It's not beginner version. So when you discover Ticket to Ride, it's not recommended to start with that map.
Yes.
It's a little bit more gamer than
I see. Okay.
what you usually play.
Gotcha. There you go. And for all the gamers out there, of which there are quite a lot, but saying it's a gamer's game is a specific category, shall we say?
Yeah, we can say that.
So let's go over it once again. So Ticket to Ride Rails and Sails, coming out when?
It will be available for Gen Con in the US.
So next week, basically.
Exactly, in English.
We're filming this on the 27th, I believe. 28th, one of the two anyway. We're a week away from Gen Con. So
for Gen Con. And then 1 month later for the rest of the world.
Okay.
So for example, in France, it will be September.
Gotcha. Price?
Price is $80.
$80.
Or 70 euros.
Okay, and this is a standalone.
It's a standalone game. It's not an expansion. You can choose a side of the box to... It's a bigger box than what you have because there is more stuff in it. Obviously, there are 250 ships and more like 100 trains. So you have more stuff.
Of course. Okay then, well listen, thank you very much for coming in to show us the game. Thank you guys for watching. If you are going to Gen Con, look out for this one if you are a fan of Ticket to Ride or Euro games in general, especially if you are after some gamer games, as they say. And we will see you next time. Ciao.
See you guys.